The question of whether the universe has a creator is one of the oldest and most profound mysteries that has haunted human thought. Yet with all our advancements in physics and philosophy, we remain as uncertain as ever. Does the sheer scope of the cosmos, its complexity, and the fundamental laws that govern it point to something far beyond our immediate comprehension? Is there a designer, an intelligence, a force beyond time and space? Or does the universe exist simply because nothing cannot exist? The most familiar perspective is the idea of a traditional God, an omnipotent, omniscient being who deliberately created the universe and all within it. This is the God of religions, one who designs with purpose, sets moral laws, and intervenes in the daily lives of human beings. For many, this is a comforting notion, a way to explain the inexplicable. The fine-tuning of the cosmos, the precise physical constants that allow stars to burn and planets to form, seems too perfect to be accidental. Could it be that an intelligence ensured these laws were just right for life? This view suggests not only a creator, but one who has an interest in the unfolding drama of existence, a being who is both the architect and the caretaker. However, the idea of a religious God who created the universe, concerning itself with the individual lives of every human being on Earth, raises several significant contradictions. Why would a God create a universe of 2 trillion galaxies, each filled with billions of stars, and trillions upon trillions of planets that are similar to Earth, only to fix its attention solely on a single planet, orbiting an ordinary star in an unremarkable corner of the cosmos? Why would this God concern itself with every fractional event and decision of every being? Would an entity capable of creating an entire universe on a cosmic scale concern itself with the daily lives of individual humans, while allowing the rest of existence to unfold solely according to the fundamental laws that govern it? A being of such immense intelligence and existence would be beyond our comprehension, yet so many traditions attempt to define it in human terms. If this religious God exists, it would be nothing like what we imagine, and its motivations would be far beyond anything we could ever fully understand. A very different perspective suggests that if there is a creator, it is something far beyond the gods described in religious texts. A 10th-dimensional being whose very existence is so vast that our universe is nothing more than a passing thought or unintentional byproduct of its very nature. One universe of an infinite number created for reasons that defy our ability to imagine. A being existing outside of time might see the totality of existence not as an unfolding event, but as a single completed structure. It would not concern itself with prayers, wishes, or the desires of a single entity. Our lives, solar system, galaxy, or even the vast stretches of this universe would hold no more significance than a single grain of sand does to a human being. Could it be that the universe was never designed in the way we think of design, but rather emerged as a natural consequence of something far greater? Something operating on a level so complex and alien that we could never begin to understand its intentions. If such a being exists, would we even be able to perceive it, or would we be as blind to it as a single cell is to the workings of the entire human body? The idea that our universe is a simulation is becoming an increasingly popular hypothesis. In this case, the creator would not be a god in the traditional sense, but rather an entity or civilization running a program of incomprehensible scale. The creator could even be a highly advanced artificial intelligence, an intelligence that has evolved over thousands of years, developing exponentially with each passing day. If our own technological advancements continue, it may be inevitable that we will create our own simulations that are indistinguishable from reality. If that is the case, how can we be sure that we are not already inside one? The laws of physics behave in ways eerily similar to computer code. with constraints and constants that give the impression of a structured system. Quantum mechanics reveals bizarre properties such as particles existing in multiple states until observed, as if reality renders itself only when necessary, much like a simulation conserving processing power or a video game creating reality only in the scene currently active. Everything else beyond it exists as a potential, a mere possibility, until it's observed once again. If our universe is indeed a simulation, does that mean there is a designer behind it? And if so, what would their purpose be? Are we an experiment? A game? Perhaps even a forgotten creation running endlessly by AI in a system long abandoned by its original programmers? If the simulation hypothesis is correct, then the creator may not even be aware of us in the way we think. They may exist in a reality with its own creators, an infinite regression of simulated worlds, each unaware of the truth beneath them. There is yet another possibility that removes external creation entirely, that the universe itself is conscious in a way beyond our understanding. Instead of being the product of a creator, the universe could be self-generating, self-aware in ways we have yet to detect. Panpsychism is a philosophical theory that suggests all things have a mind or mind-like quality, that consciousness is not an emergent property of a biological brain, but a fundamental aspect of reality itself. If this is true, then the universe may not need a creator, because it is both the creator and the created. It could be that multiverses arise, not through random chaos, but through a process akin to decision-making on a cosmic scale, an intelligence, woven into the very laws of physics. If the universe is conscious, then biological life may be one of its ways of understanding itself. Humans, in our fleeting existence, may be tiny but essential fragments of that process. The paradox of who created the creator is an infinite regression that defies human logic. If a creator exists, then what created it? You then have to ask, who or what created the creator's creator? If we insist that everything must have an origin, then the chain of causality stretches endlessly, making the concept of a first cause impossible. Some argue that the creator must be infinite, existing outside of time and space, an entity that is without beginning, without an end, and without cause, far beyond the grasp of human reasoning. But infinity is an idea that we struggle to comprehend. Our minds are built to understand sequences, cause and effect, and linear time, but are unable to comprehend something that has no starting point, no creation, and no origin. If a god or higher intelligence exists, it may not be something that began, but rather something that has always been, a concept that may be as unfathomable to us as the notion of self-awareness would be to an amoeba. Perhaps the flaw is in the question itself. We assume that existence requires a cause, but what if it doesn't? What if the ultimate truth is simply beyond the limits of human understanding? Each of these perspectives provides an answer, yet none are truly satisfying. Every answer only leads to further questions, an infinite chain of mysteries that no amount of human reasoning can ever fully resolve. Perhaps the very nature of our existence prevents us from seeing the full truth, just as a two-dimensional being could never perceive the full extent of a three-dimensional world. We are incapable of understanding concepts that manifest themselves in higher dimensions. If there is a creator, then we may never know its true nature, motivations, or purpose. If the universe is self-created, then we are most likely one of many iterations of existence, part of a process that is far larger than we can comprehend. But whether designed, simulated, or spontaneously arising from the chaos of quantum mechanics, the universe remains a place of wonder. We may never know the answer to the greatest question of all, but the pursuit of that answer is what defines us as conscious beings. Whether or not a creator exists, the truth will most likely remain a mystery, haunting our thoughts as we try and bring reason to our existence. that the purpose of life and consciousness is to question the very nature of everything around us. Why create a vast universe with endless complexity if there is nothing or no one to discover it? I'd like to thank you for joining me as we contemplate the nature of a creator, and I invite you back for our next episode of A Godless Universe.